you and the center believe, I want to quote, if that's okay. According to you and the center, quote, the immigration enforcement system is built on white supremacy, economic exploitation, and criminalization, and must be dismantled, end quote. Is that correct?
I'm not aware of that statement.
Here it is, right from your website, and you're on the board of directors. Do you believe that our immigration system is built on white supremacy?
Okay, did you just see that? Because I need a second. Senator John Kennedy just walked into that hearing room and did what most politicians are too scared or too unprepared to do. He brought receipts. And Professor Wong, invited there as an expert witness, couldn't account for what was on her own organization's website. That alone tells you everything. And Ms. Noble's sitting in that room, listening to academic talking points from someone whose organization wants to dismantle the very system meant to bring justice for her daughter. That part hit me. Senator Kennedy clearly felt it too. This is the kind of exchange mainstream media doesn't want trending. It's uncomfortable, it's direct, and it cuts through the usual political theater. If you're new here, welcome. Hit subscribe because we talk about the things people avoid. Drop a comment with your first reaction to that clip. And let's get into the full video together because it only gets more intense.
DACA, as we're talking about it. So if we extend and legalize DACA, that's the standard that's being used at this point. Senator Kennedy, you're next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to all the members of our panel for being here today. Ms. Nobles, I'm sorry. I don't have a daughter. I have a son. If what happened to your daughter happened to my son, I don't know if I could ever recover. I don't know why bad things happen to good people. If I make it to heaven, I'm going to ask. I'm just sorry.
Thank you.
I don't know anybody in the United States Senate who has worked harder to implement and control, well, let me amend that, to implement an immigration policy that looks like somebody designed it on purpose than Senator John Cornyn. The problem we've had in the last 3 years is that except until recently, when it became a political issue, President Biden just didn't care. And sometimes when a person acts like he doesn't care, it's not an act. And that's why we have way more, Professor Wong, than 60,000 minors, many of whom are being trafficked, sexually trafficked today in our country. And I suspect you know that. Professor Wong, you're a professor from California, is that right?
Yes.
And you were invited here as an expert today by our Democratic colleagues?
Yes.
Okay. You're on the board of directors of the California Immigrant Policy Center. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
And I'm looking at your website. You and the center believe, I want to quote, if that's okay. According to you and the center, quote, the immigration enforcement system is built on white supremacy, economic exploitation, and criminalization, and must be dismantled. End quote. Is that correct?
I'm not aware of that statement.
Here it is, right from your website, and you're on the board of directors. Do you believe that our immigration system is built on white supremacy?
No, sir.
Well, you said it, Professor. Now, did you lie here, or are you lying to us today?
No, I did not write that statement. That I'm on the board of directors of an organization called the California Immigrant Policy Center that advocates for legislative changes in the state of California to improve the lives of immigrants. I'm not aware of that statement.
Well, you ought to go look at your website.
Are you talking about my personal website?
I'm talking about the California Immigrant Policy Center.
Yes, I'm not aware of that statement
whose
on the
board you
California
sit.
Immigrant
You
Policy Center's
say
website.
That the immigration enforcement system in America today is, quote, built on white supremacy.
That's not my statement.
Yes, it is.
That's not my statement.
You're on the board. It's built on economic exploitation, and it's built on criminalization, and it must be dismantled. You also say, you in the center, that you want to, quote, strategically push ICE out of our communities across California, end quote. Wow.
So an extensive body of research shows that interior immigration enforcement, to the extent that ICE partners with local police, has chilling effects across immigrant communities and their families.
Did you listen to Ms. Noble's testimony?
Yes, I did, with great concern.
Yeah. You think getting rid of ICE is going to help young women not be raped and murdered by MS-13 gang members? Is that your answer to
No, that's
bringing
not.
justice to Mrs. Noble's daughter? Is to
No.
call her a white supremacist and say that she believes in economically exploiting people?
No, that's not. You are attributing a statement to me that I did not make.
Yes, sir, you did. It's on your website.
Time has expired, Senator. I think it's inappropriate to call people liars in this hearing. I hope that we'll be very careful. The witnesses are under oath, and to say that they are lying is to accuse them of something close to a crime. And I think that term should be carefully used.
Well, can I respond to that, Mr. Chairman?
When you get I'm going to recognize.
We just watched the whole thing, and honestly, my opinion only got stronger. Senator Kennedy came prepared. This wasn't just grandstanding. Underneath the theatrics was a genuinely important line of questioning. He brought up over 60,000 unaccompanied minors in this country, many being sexually trafficked right now, and used that as the backdrop to question someone who sits on the board of an organization that wants to push ICE out of California communities. That is a serious and necessary confrontation. Now, Professor Wong said she didn't write that statement and wasn't aware of it. That's possible. Board members don't always author every piece of content on their organization's website. But here's the problem. If you sit on the board, you are accountable for its public positions. You don't get to benefit from the association and then distance yourself from its statements the moment they become inconvenient. Senator Kennedy was right to press that. The chairman stepped in and warned Senator Kennedy about using the word liar. I understand the procedural concern, but when someone is sitting before the Senate representing an organization whose public statements they claim not to know, the frustration is understandable. Senator Kennedy wasn't attacking Professor Wong personally. He was holding Professor Wong accountable professionally, and there's a real difference between those two things. What really got me was the statement itself. The California Immigrant Policy Center apparently describes the immigration enforcement system as built on white supremacy, economic exploitation, and criminalization, and says it must be dismantled. You can have a serious conversation about immigration reform, about due process, about humane treatment. Those are valid. But dismantling enforcement entirely and pushing ICE out of communities, while sitting across from a grieving mother whose daughter was killed by an MS-13 gang member. That disconnect is something I cannot get past. Senator Kennedy asked the most human question in that entire hearing. Is getting rid of ICE going to help young women avoid being raped and murdered by MS-13 gang members? Professor Wong didn't really answer it, because there is no clean answer that fits the ideology being promoted. And Senator Kennedy knew that. The immigration system is not perfect. Reform is a legitimate conversation. But the answer to an imperfect system is reform, not dismantling. And the people who pay the price when enforcement breaks down are not the academics sitting in Senate hearing rooms. They are people like Ms. Nobles and her daughter. Senator Kennedy spoke for those people today. Drop your thoughts below. Was Senator Kennedy out of line? Or is this exactly the kind of accountability Washington needs more of? Share this video because these are conversations worth having.